Hello, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, where in the world you're watching. This is RivetingTV Showtime number 3, Newbie Nights. I'm Dorjan.
And I'm HighFlyer15.
And we're back, baby. This is our first proper show that we're back doing that we were doing back before when we're back doing back, right? Makes sense. Tonight, what we're doing is going to show you what to do when you meet the big behemoths that are the KV-1, the KV-1S, and the KV-2. These tanks, when you first play World of Tanks, are mind-bogglingly scary. You see them for the first time, you shoot at them, nothing happens, they keep rolling towards you and they roll over you and you crushed pancake dead. Splat. Do you remember the first time you met them, HighFlyer?
But that was back in the beta where
KV2
tier
was
1
KV1.
where tier 1s met them as well. So I was like, yeah, couldn't do anything at all.
No, and they were infuriating. They're the first tanks that I really needed to learn weak spots for. Every other tank, you just shot at them, they died. But then you met the KV-1, it's like, ding, 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 ding. What the hell is going on? Why is this thing just driving at me? Oh, I'm dead. So we thought for a newbie night today, coming back, would be to show how to beat the hell out of these tanks, or at least do your best against them, because they are formidable opponents, the KV-1S, the KV-1, and the KV-2. So in part 1, we're going to do the KV-1, part 2, we'll do the KV-1S, and part 3, we'll do the KV-2. Sounds good, right?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. So, yeah, we're going to have to try different tanks to shoot them with. And basically, we're going to start small. The Matilda Mark IV is a premium tank you can buy with the for the Russian team. It's a British tank, export, tier 5. It's really a tier 4. And the gun has only 86 penetration. So what we're going to do is see if you can hurt a fellow tier 5 KV-1 when you meet it with such a puny gun. Then we'll move up to the 100 and 110 millimeter guns that you generally get with the med tanks of tier 5 and see if the weak spots still hold up. So what things are the critical weak spots that you can always go through reliably, and the other stuff that you can take advantage of if you have the right gun. Cool. So let's get into a training room. I will start it now, Mr. HighFlyer. Everyone
Get in.
See the game as we create the room. We might as well do Himmelsdorf because Himmelsdorf is small and battle duration as high up as we can. Riveting TV by invitation only.
Yes,
Invite
exclusive.
Mr. HighFlyer.
VIPs only.
VIPs only. You are invited, sir.
I'm already in.
I know. We're already loading. So first the basics of weak spots, right? Any hatch you see. Actually, HighFlyer, you go through. What are the basic weak spots for every tank? Like the generic ones you can always remember and use against almost any tank you see.
Well, the generic ones are the ones that you can see, because as you can see them, the enemy or the people inside the tank has to be able to see out, and therefore there is the gunner's viewport, and there is the driver's viewport, and there is also the also a cupola on the cupola on most of the bigger tanks, because that's where the commander usually hangs out and watches the battle and how everything progresses and go there, yeah. But yeah, all the visible stuff that indicates that here is a small spot where the armor is thinner, because you have to be able to see out yeah, from inside the tank. So obviously there's not going to be close to any armor there. So yep, just look out for those, and they're really easy to spot, as you'll see when we meet each other, and Dorjan can take a look at my tank.
Definitely. So let's go in. I was highlighting while you were speaking all this sort of stuff. So what we're going to do now is have a good look at the KV-1's front. If you show me the front, just flat out front. Okay, you will see this sort of thing, guys. The plate is made up, or the front plate is made up of several different components. You've got the lower glacis plate, which is kind of rounded at the bottom here. Then it gets a bit flatter. Then it gets to this slope bit where the badge is there. If you see his badges there, the Ace of Spades, that bit is sloped and pretty hard to get through. Then you got the flat plate where you see the gunner's port, you see the driver's hatch, you see this light, you see the what's that bit called there? The view hatch for the What's that one there? That's the scope, isn't it?
Yeah, don't really know.
Viewfinder or
Range,
something. Yeah,
viewfinder, yeah.
I think so. And then you've got the commander's viewpoints up here and stuff like that. It's really hard for the KV-1 to see. So that's what you see when you meet the front. And generally speaking, if you shoot at the front of the KV-1...
It's called a prism.
Sorry?
It's called a prism. Adept says it's called a prism.
Prism. Okay, the view prism.
Yeah.
Right. The third shot went through because I hit the upper blank here. But basically, this front bit here is incredibly tough. And I'm at really close range. This is 23 meters away. The more realistic situation to be would be a bit further than that. So let's go back a bit further so we can see how tough the KV-1 is from a distance. 100 meters, which is the standard engagement range in World of Tanks for a lot of battles. Around 100 meters where you first get your first drop-off, isn't it? For your penetration at range.
Yeah.
So yeah, 86 penetration here from the front. Wow, I'm going through, man. I'm way too close, I think.
Yeah, but you're also hitting the straight on where the lower glass is.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit the upper right there.
Still went through, man.
Yeah, but you hit the most vertical spot where you should hit. I don't know, your gun maybe is just so inaccurate that you can't even aim properly with it. So.
Right, the main thing to notice, guys, is you shoot the turrets, nothing happens, okay? Right, we'll do that now. I'll shoot the... Unless you hit the cheek.
You shot the cheek.
I shot the cheek. If you shoot the turret, I mean incredibly lucky. Look. We're going to have to get the cameras for this. Look. You're not normally this lucky. If you go against a KV-1, you're never this lucky normally, alright? If you meet this guy in a normal field of battle, you never get this lucky, right? I've never had this much luck in my life against a KV-1. Will you angle yourself, please, sir? There must be a reason why I'm going through so easily. Angle yourself or something.
Enemy is hit. Enemy is hit.
Unbelievable.
There we go. So,
yeah.
You'll get this a lot, where it looks green. What's going on? Can't do any damage. Even shoot the front.
We didn't even scratch him.
That's better. Anyway, you get the point. The front of the KV-1 is, generally speaking, quite tough. We'll start that again. And you actually find it quite hard to penetrate them from the front, usually. If we actually had the KV-1 shooting back, the Matilda would have died a lot quicker. So, yeah. Have you ever been that lucky as a Matilda against KV-1? Because I don't think I have before.
Nope. I have a huge... The win percentage on this tank is pretty huge because... I don't even know. Because I didn't even really like playing in it.
Meet me at the death corner. And we'll do a shooting match from the normal distance. Maybe we're just too close. But generally speaking, with the KV-1, you've got to make sure that you are looking at the right spots. I don't know why that wasn't working today, guys. But the main things to worry about is the turret. The turret is incredibly tough. The armor is 125?
The turret is 110.
110. So that's way beyond the upper bound of the penetration here. You have to get a lucky hit to go through there. And somehow I was managing it. So don't generally aim there and expect to live, because the KV-1 will penetrate you no matter where you go. So when we get into the corner, we'll have a nice little fight, and we will show you the reasoning wise. This is quite embarrassing because the KV-1 is, generally speaking, incredibly hard nut to crack. Maybe I'm just unable to shoot badly.
Yeah, suddenly you're awesome. You
Suddenly
should be
I'm
playing
awesome.
right now. You should be playing right now.
I should be matchmaker right now, guys. With this luck. Okay, this is the standard situation you'll be at.
We've just dinged him.
Right, give a shot at me.
Bounced off.
Right,
Our driver's
easily.
dead. We can barely
Yep.
move.
Whack me right between the turret and the thing. The KV-1 went through. Let's keep firing. Let's keep firing. Let's try and do our best.
We didn't even scratch.
You're allowed to shoot us, by the way. Just don't kill.
We didn't penetrate.
Oh
the
no!
armor.
Ah!
Didn't go through.
So this is only 164 meters, but already it's impossible to get through. This situation here, I'm doing everything, looking at every single point. Oh my god, what's going on? So this is the point, and he's absolutely trouncing us. There's nothing I can do. I'm aiming for green spots. Why is it not going through? I'm aiming at green spots, right? That's because at every long distance, every time you're at range, it's A, a lot harder to hit the weak spots. B, there's drop off. Your penetration gets worse the further you are away. And C, you can hide yourself. As you can see, the KV-1, I'll go back to the in-game camera, the KV-1 is now behind rubble, covering a lot of his weak spots, and I can't shoot at the tracks, I can't do anything but maybe try and track him with the other side. There's a very limited area I can hit him, and what he's done is made sure that it's all his strongest parts. So if I was trying to engage him right now, I would have to come closer, and that will lead to almost certain death. If he took another shot now, I was dead. But as you could tell, he was able to destroy me very, very easily, no matter what direction I was coming from. I was there in the corner doing the exact same thing he was, but he was penetrating me much easier. And now we're getting a bit closer. This is more of a situation where you might be able to get into. And still, this is more like it. Aiming for the lower glaciers, still not going through. Aiming for just under the track, still not going through. Just able to track him. Right? There. First one through. Where does it go through, High Flyer?
In the thing that we didn't know what was.
No, it actually went through the light at the front.
The light? You went through?
It went through the light. The light's a flat surface, you see. And
Yeah.
it does that all the time. Because the lights on the tanks are real, they're considered flat. So I got the weak spot here. So this entire bar here is weak. This bit and this bit and this bit is weaker than the rest. So it's that bit there.
Enemy is hit.
This bit here.
Enemy is hit.
This bit here.
Enemy is hit.
Right, all gone through at this range. Lower glaciers,
That's gotta hurt.
through. So if you get the KV-1 at close range, you can get through it. It's not that tough. But the situation you will not get it in is, in a Matilda especially, is at that range. You'll probably get it something more like this, even at close range. A pop-out attack.
Looks like that one went right through.
And he will just fire and you're dead.
Enemy is hit.
Are you not going to fire, sir? Oh, 20 HP. Right, I'm going to go around the side.
They're hit.
Uh-oh. But I am fast, boy.
Enemy is hit.
Aim
Right through the
true!
gun. Destroy the gun, destroy the gun.
Penetration.
Should I destroy the gun?
Anyway,
My cannon got destroyed.
yeah! I'll shoot the flat bit here. Anyway, as you can see from the front, guys, that the KV-1 is incredibly tough at range. When you get close to it, there are easy weak spots you can fire. So you shouldn't be afraid of it if you can get close. The gun, however, is very formidable. Do you want to give them the rundown of the guns?
Yeah, and here we have the KV-2 with the mini derp gun. The derp gun does very low penetration, which is 61 and 450 damage. But because of the high damage, it does around the 200 damage mark. So 4 shots, and you were dead. It can also equip the 85mm F30, which has an average penetration of 120 and damages 160, and that's about the same amount. But with the derp gun, if you get on the side of tanks, you can do a hell of a lot more damage. So that's why I played with that one right there. But that's why it's a very dangerous tank.
Indeed. The KV-1 has formidable firepower, and you meet one, you not have to just worry about the armor, but the fact it can kill you incredibly quickly. Just as quickly as you would think that it can... you can kill it. I mean, it survives so well, even against the penetration shots at close range, that it will do just as much damage against you very, very quickly. So if I go back into the Matilda, I'll show you the weak spots at the side. Where are we now? The USSR. Picking my tank, I'm going to battle. Come back into the training, High Flyer, sir.
I shall run there.
Run like the wind. By the way, the reason XSplit is crashing is because we're trying to use Skype for video, and you should never use Skype and XSplit because they fucking hate each other. Yeah, true story. Anyway, I will meet you in the open field, sir, and we will do a 200 meters. Actually, no, the same place we were beforehand, but just drive out with your side showing, and we'll see what the difference is at range with the side.
Yes.
Right, back to game.
It's looking so very pretty on your end.
Woohoo, so pretty. I'm so pretty, oh so pretty, so pretty and witty and right.
Yay! Oh.
Oi.
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 Okay, so I'm just gonna play this stupid KV1 on the corner. Okay.
If you're lucky and you see a KV1 doing what Hi-Fi's about to do, you'll realise that the KV1 side armour is not anywhere as near as scary. But the
It's
turret
fabulous.
still is. Don't aim for the turret. Even if you get a side option, you should not be aiming for the turret. The turret's side armor is just as good as the turret's front armor, which, as you saw, unless you're at close range, you can't penetrate it reliably. And even at short range, sometimes it won't go through. Every shot counts against the KV1 because of its amazing firepower. So here we go. We now see the KV1 has come out a little bit too far. And now we can shoot at its side. Now, one thing the KV1 does have, amazingly for it, is its tracks, who love absorbing shots. So here at the moment is in that sweet spot where you're just absorbing everything. You need to come out a little bit further to show the true weakness of your side, which I'm not sure at this range is actually going to show.
And stop tracking me!
There you go, it went through. So at the side there, you see that the weakness around here is more evident. Right, let's try it again. There, straight through. Straight through the side, guys. Even at the max range that last time we were struggling so hard, right now we find it incredibly easy. 1, 2, 3. Out of 4 shots, 3 went through.
Didn't go through.
That one didn't go through. Where did it hit? Must be high.
Penetration.
Penetration, that was a critical damage shot, guys.
Fire!
And on fire. There you go.
Fire!
Burn, baby, burn. Right, so on the side of the KV1, it's a lot softer. A lot softer. And the tracks really are its savings grace. So if you're a KV1 driver, make sure you angle your tracks in front because they will absorb a lot of random shells. However, you will still have the issue of if they get through the side armor, you will be put on fire. Basically, always. Goodbye, sir.
By yourself.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Enemy vehicle
How
destroyed.
did a Matilda beat me?
Hacker rage! Oh no! From the rear, there's nothing really you have to worry about, I would say. There's one thing you've got to really catch out for, and that's aiming for the size of the turret from the rear, and the tiny bit at the top of the rear block. That point there bounces quite a lot, and you need to be careful. I'm going to show them the picture in the garage because there's no point going to this game just to show that one. If you see here, it's rounded at the top here. Whoops. You can see it's rounded in the top here, guys. That bit here is incredibly bouncy. If you're shooting at the top here, bing, bing. Even at the turret here and the sides, the rounded bits at the back here. If you accidentally hit that bit there, you're going to bounce again and do 0 damage. You're not going to get through. So that's unfortunate, but that is the KV1. So if we just spin around the tank here, we'll do a highlight of the weaknesses if you get to close range with them. Again, the flat surface up here, but more importantly, these points here. The viewing prism here. The lower glacis is actually a bit weaker, but don't aim for this bar here. You probably won't get through. The turret is quite strong, and unless you have a really high penetration gun, you won't reliably get through. But if you hit right here on the cheek here, not here, here and here, you will get through. And on the side, you can get through on the bit where the turret joins, the turret ring, where it joins the tank. And any of the flat surfaces, not the tracks. Hit the tracks, you're going to get 0 damage. But if you hit anywhere around here, you've got a good chance of setting it on fire. And the rear of the turret here, but not here, not here. And this bit here of the back, not here. There's a good chance you'll bounce off if you accidentally aim high. So that's really how to engage the KV1. Mr. Highfly, do you have anything to add for that, sir?
No, because if I had that information, then I would have been a happy camper back then, even though I was in my tier 1. But even though when I got up into the tier 3 and tier 4, I was constantly thrown into battles with the KV1. And it was either the KV1 turret or the KV2 turret. And the KV2, we will be getting to that. But
yes,
even when it was just the KV1, then it was a monster to meet on the battlefield.
it still is. I mean, if I see a KV1 in a tier 5 only battle, let's say they've got 3 KV1s and we've got none, I honestly feel very much, oh, this is an upward battle immediately. because the KV-1 is formidable. I don't think there's any other word to use. It's incredibly sturdy and scary. The gun is good, the armor is good. The only thing not so good is the speed. And then again, the British tanks haven't got that either. You don't get the speed with the Matilda or the Churchill.
No.
Right. Is there any questions in the chat? Since this is newbie night, is there anything, any questions you guys want to know about the KV-1 or anything? Yeah. A KV before 7.3 was a Trollolog tank. It was the KV-2 basically in the tier 5 slot. But is there any questions you guys have got for the KV-1 or around tier 5 in general? For the thing before we take a break and come back in a few minutes for the KV-1S.
Yeah.
Doing 30 kilometers an hour is in a heavy tank is decent or not? Yeah.
It is decent if you have the acceleration, and the KV-1 doesn't.
No, the KV-1S, the reason it's known as fast is not the high top speed, but the reasonably high acceleration.
Yep.
But still, it's not fast at all.
No.
Okay. Oh, what would you suggest for if you were a KV-1 driver? What sort of skills would you take, Highflyer?
Fire maintenance thingy. What's it called? I will jump into this. But yeah, definitely 2 repairs, because some of the skills in the skills and perks aren't really that important for the KV-1, because you are so dominant on the field when you're put up against your tier group. So you don't really need to be able to snapshot something. You'll just drive forward, aim, and then fire. And so the gunner can definitely go for repairs, so you can get out of those situations where you're caught in the open and people are just shooting into your sides, so you can turn faster.
Yeah.
So,
what about view range? Would you recommend view range? Because in tier 5, it's got a great gun.
Yeah, but the view range is 440 meters. No, it's 310, which is not amazing. But again, you are the tank that is pushing forward. You are the heavy tank, the heaviest tank in that tier. So I wouldn't really say that, because you are not the one leading you're leading the push, but you're not the one getting to the spots first. So you don't really need the view range when you got the signal range, because then all the tanks coming up ahead of you will spot them, and you'll know exactly where the enemy is. So you won't be the one pushing and having to utilize the view range.
Indeed, Amundo. So yeah, so with the tanks, remember with crew skills, guys, go with whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't like being on fire or don't like carrying a fire extinguisher around with you, get the fire extinguisher skill or the firefighting skill. If you don't like being tracked in the open, and you will get tracked as a KV-1, get the repair skill. Stuff like that. The other micro skills, if you wish. I mean, I picked a bunch of cool skills because when I had the KV-1, they just introduced the skills. And I don't really play the KV-1, so if we jump into the game, you see what I picked. View range, clutch braking, and snapshots, and what was that one? Adrenaline, something like that. Just real rubbish. Adrenaline rush, yeah. So real rubbish skills I picked for it because I was just messing around. And that's, remember, the most important thing if you're a newbie, have some fun. Play around with the skills. But that's what we recommend. Obviously, firefighting, repairing, and that's it really for the KV-1. You don't need to have 3 skills for the KV-1. It's not really a tank that I like playing myself. I'm a fast speed demon.
Yeah. So you don't really need all those skills for the scout, really.
No.
Or the fast assault tank.
I'm just going to check some questions one last time, and then preventative maintenance. Yeah, brother in arms or aiming brothers in arms. I guess that could be fun to have on it. I don't think you would notice the difference all that much. But that's really the basics. So we're going to take a quick break and be back with the KV-1 right after this. Ah, yeah.